Chapter 24. The weight of time. Time did not rush them. Years unfolded slowly, filled with ordinary days that quietly shaped extraordinary meaning. They learned the sound of each other's tiredness, the look that meant not today, the silence that asked for comfort rather than words. Love became something they carried together. Chapter 25. When the world changes, the world outside them shifted. Careers rose and fell. Friends moved away. The city grew louder. But inside their small shared life, there was steadiness. They learned that stability wasn't stagnation, it was trust grown strong enough to hold change. Chapter 26. A loss that spoke loudly. Loss arrived without warning. Someone close was gone, leaving emptiness behind. Grief moved differently through each of them. She withdrew inward. He reached outward. They almost misunderstood each other again. Almost. Chapter 27. How grief teaches love. They learned that love didn't look the same in pain. Some nights required words. Others required silence. They stopped expecting comfort to arrive in the same shape. They learned to ask, "What do you need?" and to listen to the answer. Chapter 28. The question of children. The conversation came late, carefully. Not about desire, but about fear. About repeating mistakes. About what they had inherited from their own families. They didn't decide everything that night. They decided to keep talking. Chapter 29. Choosing a future. Months passed. Eventually, the answer wasn't dramatic. It was calm. It felt right. They chose a future that wasn't perfect but honest. Chapter 30. The small ceremony. They didn't want a crowd. Just a few people who knew their story. A quiet place. No grand speeches. When they promised to stay, it wasn't romanticized. It was grounded. Chapter 31. Marriage is not the end. Marriage didn't change love. It revealed it. The same doubts appeared sometimes. The same habits required effort. But now, there was a deeper sense of a shared responsibility for care. Chapter 30. To the years that followed. Years layered themselves gently. Joy arrived in unexpected ways. So did exhaustion. Life felt full, then overwhelming, then peaceful again. They learned that happiness wasn't constant, but meaning was. Chapter 33. What they passed on what they had learned. Not advice, not rules, but example, presence, honesty, the courage to stay when leaving would be easier. Chapter 34. Growing older together. Their hands changed. Their faces softened. But when they looked at each other, recognition remained immediate. Love aged with them, not fading but deepening. Chapter 35. The last return. One afternoon, years later, she stood at the same bus stop where they met. He stood beside her. She smiled. "Still early?" "Always," he replied. They laughed. Chapter 36. The final truth. She leaned her head against his shoulder. "I used to believe love was about control," she said. "I used to believe love was about freedom," he answered. They looked at each other. "Turns out," she continued, "it's about trust and choosing," he finished, "every day." Chapter 37. When two hearts know. They didn't need more words. Love had become a shared language spoken in glances, gestures, and quiet understanding. And when life slowed, as it eventually does, they knew this much was true. Some stories don't end loudly. They end completely. Epilogue. What remains. People would later describe their love as simple. But those who knew them understood. It was built carefully, bravely, together. And that was everything.